Hi, friends. Oh,
we
Johnny
missed
was
it.
the only one with the fist in. That was so sad.
And okay, that worked out well.
Guys, it worked really well. Welcome back to whatever this is. DC foam movie news, kind of movie news, whatever crossover event we're pulling right now.
DC FanDome movie news live.
DC
Hello.
foam movie news live. That guy right there with the excellent title, Johnny LaQuasto.
Good to be here, guys. We're here together. It's a beautiful thing.
That is true. That is that shit-eating grin on his face, Mike Kalinowski.
What do you mean a shit-eating grin? I'm having a wonderful it's a wonderful friggin' weekend for me, and it's a wonderful day.
You're doing well.
This is like the culmination of everything, man. It's like, you got to keep the faith, and they had some rough spots, but man, it just seems like it's all coming together, and it's awesome. I'm loving it.
Becoming DC's version of Wolverine, Adam Gertler in the house.
How's it going, guys? I got to say, it's probably the 40-plus-year-old in me talking, but I don't think I ever want to do a convention any other way again in my life.
No, that can't be true. I miss hanging out with you guys and also booze, right?
No, I love the conventions. I love the fact that this is like the Hall H. Like,
just let everybody have it. Come on.
Yeah. I think this needs to be the new Hall H. I don't want Comic-Con to go away. I want it to go back to what it used to be with just comics and people loving geek stuff and not having to sit for 2 days to get into Hall H. This thing was phenomenal so far.
It really is. So in case you don't know what we're talking about, DC FanDome is going all day today from 10 in the morning until 6 p.m. or even later, actually. They're covering all different things from TV to movie to comics. It actually was split into 2 separate days. So one of the days now is taking place on September 12th. So maybe we'll be back here doing the same thing. But we are doing 3 videos today. The first one talking about Wonder Woman, Flash, and Suicide Squad, as those are the major panels that have already gone. And we'll do our next show at 3:30 and the one after that at 6:05. So please join us all day long to talk about those things. In general, though, guys, I know that we watched Comic-Con at home and we've seen a lot of different digital conventions take place so far. How do you guys think this one stacks up? How are you feeling about the production value? And dare I ask, Johnny, how do you feel about the hosts?
Well, allow me to first just say, as the resident healthcare professional of DC Movie News Live, make sure you stay hydrated today, everyone. It could be hot where you're at. There's a lot of action from the internet coming our way. It's a whole full day process. Make sure you're drinking your electrolytes, get your water, and you got to make sure that you're revved up and you're ready to go. This is the first of 3 broadcasts. I got my own corner man who's ready to squirt water in my face. You know what I mean? That's how excited I am.
What's a corner man? I need a corner man. What? This is a sports thing? They give you water in the corner?
I don't know. You are a corner man, Roxy.
All right. The ring guy, whatever. I get it. Got you. Give me a mouth guard. I'll be fine.
Yeah. No, this is amazing. I'm going to reiterate what Mikey said. I mean, first off, the way Wonder Woman kicked off, that was like returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. I mean, just a really cool panel leading into a trailer that I love it because it kind of leaves more questions than answers. And then the Flash, I wasn't expecting much. It didn't really give us a whole lot. I liked the Flash facts. It was quirky. Ezra Miller looks like Keanu Reeves and also has the personality of Jared Leto. I don't know what's going on there, but he's cool. And then Suicide Squad, my God, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't even know some of these characters, and I'm totally into it.
All right, Mike, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's I don't know. I mean, I feel great. I love this kickoff. I love the way they do it. I love that it has a global feel to it. And as far as movies, it just seems like we talked for so long about, a huge thing for me is like Marvel always dominated Hall H because they had a showman with Kevin Feige and they knew what to do. They had that showmanship. And even DC, I remember 2017 was the year they did a kind of a bigger kickoff, and they never really could get the click of it. They never really could own the showmanship of a Hall H. And this just seems like, I mean, from what I'm seeing, and I checked out of what was a Comic-Con at home, they called it, when they tried to do it. I clicked out after a couple thing. I was like, it looked like a bunch of Zoom calls with people wanting to say what they would say on a panel.
And it was kind of complicated. They did it on IGN. They had it all over the place, trying to find the videos you wanted to watch.
I mean, and they were on the fly because you could tell like 2 weeks ago, they're like, oh, we're doing 2 days. Because think about it, I thought it was going to be like a map and you click into the different things and the panel would be there whenever you wanted to. And it wasn't. And this way stuff would overlap. So this makes so much sense. I want all Hall H one day like they're doing. They've got encores all day.
Initially, I think it was going to be more like that, Mikey. Like it seemed like if you look at the press releases from a couple of weeks ago, it was more like these islands. They described it within the FanDome. And I got to say, like, first to my what I said before about Comic-Con, of course, I want that to come back. As someone who's like in the restaurant business and everything, like, I keep thinking about all the businesses that are decimated for not having these huge events everywhere, not just the one in San Diego, but everywhere. The restaurants, the hotels, everything, and it sucks. I do think that there's a chance that now that when studios see how much less they can spend for how much more payoff and everybody can attend via Zoom, there will be more of this, and maybe it will birth some of the excess out of those cons. So I think the future is positive.
Yeah, I think, Adam, to that point, I think every Comic-Con, people cannot get to it. It sells out. I think this will make it so everyone gets to enjoy what they want. I think San Diego will still sell out. I think the hotels will still be ridiculous. You know, I think next year is going to be insane, like a kickback to get to it. I think this is a win for everybody.
What do you guys think about the fact that you have to be watching it live and it expires after 24 hours? So if you missed it, you missed it. You like that, Adam? You like that, Mike?
Totally. I mean, it's the only thing that tethers you to that live experience, right? Like we're having to watch in real time, not on YouTube. Brilliant call.
And I've seen the trailers that they've shown are already released, but also they're doing 2 other encores all day. So this runs till tomorrow morning. So if you can't watch the stream right now for the next 7 hours, you're going to do it.
The trailers released already?
I saw Suicide Squad, I saw Wonder Woman, and I saw the Gotham Knights is online. Yeah, they're online.
What happened with that text message we got from our producer Ryan before we started saying that there was a leak in the Justice League one? I couldn't even make heads or tail.
The Justice League trailer is leaked. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I tweeted out recently because Zack Snyder actually went after some people already about it because they're like, oh, it looks like the Justice League movie with some darkness to it. And I'm like, we've waited 3 years for this film of ups and downs to do a special day where this guy gets to do a panel about this, and you're going to watch a leaked trailer and comment that like crap about it already. Like, you couldn't wait 5 hours. Go yourselves, man.
Yeah.
Chicken bullshit.
You heard it here from Mikey Christmas.
Right? Because we're not on the network, right? I can swear.
Fuck
yourself.
Go fuck yourselves.
Fuck
but not to you, Orlando Orrego, who says
watch the goddamn trailer 6 hours.
Okay, Mike. All right, Mike. Hi, guys. Go ahead and geek out, says Orlando. Go ahead, Adam.
My favorite part, though, multiverse panel. I thought that was the most insight we got to how the TV and film and everything goes together. Roxy, you said you never even saw Hamada before. Me neither. I think Jim Lee between Hamada and Berlanti, I was like,
actually 2 different ages. I don't know. He's got the gray hair in front, but you also look so young. I've
always seen a picture of him when he had like short hair, and it was like a business suit for his like WB like press picture. That's all I've ever seen of him.
I haven't seen that.
What did you think of him, Mikey? What did you think of that?
Let's get to it. Let's go in order here.
All right, Ross.
It's total mayhem already. Guys, if you have questions for us, by the way, please submit them to streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. We'll answer all your questions there. Let's start with Wonder Woman because that's what kicked us off today.
And Rox, I believe your Streamlabs is taking donations as well because we're doing 3 broadcasts, right?
Yeah, what do you mean as well? As well as what?
Is that how they do questions? Questions like you do?
That's what I just said. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer.
I was curious how that works. Okay, my bad.
Johnny doesn't listen to shit that I say.
I don't know how that works. Sorry.
You're the best. Johnny, pimp it out. You pimp it out.
Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. You want to answer
we'll take all the questions
at your squad, and we'll answer your question.
Okay, so Wonder Woman, 10 a.m. We wake up, a little bit hungover, a little bit food coma, whatever it is you're doing. We watch the Wonder Woman panel. We had the most incredible production value. Let's see, I actually even took a screen grab of this. I was like, am I going to get in trouble for doing this? But it's just an image, so I think I'm fine. This is what it looked like for anybody who missed it. Looked pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And we got to hear from each of them a little bit, some questions answered, trailer seen. They called it trailer number 2. I thought we were on number 3, but I guess that was wrong. What do you guys think? Adam, favorite part of this panel?
Well, I think they did a great job of setting the pace for the day. You immediately, like these panels live, they just naturally have to meander because you have to wait for people to line up and ask the questions and everything. So the pace was great. And it was very light, and it was just so well done. You've seen the experience, like after just watching the Democratic National Convention, this convention is flowing even way tighter than that one. You know, it really is, just from a production point of view.
Take that, DNC.
And then we saw Cheetah. I mean, we finally saw the full-on Cheetah. You know, looked very cool. Maybe a little CGI dodginess, you know. I mean, it's been in the can for a while, so don't tell me that that's going to look better. I don't know, but the lasso stuff really stood out to me. Incredible lasso stuff in the trailer.
Wait, Adam, can you break this down for me though? Because I saw also friend Maud Garrett was tweeting about the CGI, and there was a lot of people tweeting about the CGI. I don't know whether I'm blind to it or what, but where was the CGI issue? I didn't see any CGI issue.
Just the rendering of the Cheetah character, and what we saw very quickly looked a little. It didn't look blended into the frame. It just didn't look as like real as like your Thanos or something, I would say. I mean, look, a couple of shots. I'm not coming out negative. I'm just like, you know, putting it out there. What I saw, I still welled up with emotion. I can't wait for this movie.
I'm hearing you, but I don't know. I thought she looked dope. Mike, how are you feeling? What were your favorite parts of the panel?
My favorite part was Linda Carter showing up.
Yeah.
And all the reverence they have for her. To me, I'll be honest, the trailer, I like the first one better. I like the song. It just had it just drove you, the song. But I love that we didn't see anything really plot still. I love that they haven't spoiled anything. But after the first trailer, I was done. I didn't need to see any more. Like I saw.
Why are they calling this the second trailer? Don't you feel like this is the third trailer?
No, the first one was the 84 song.
Like and then what was the other thing? A teaser?
I don't remember anything else.
No, there was that. How does it feel?
Yeah,
that was the main trailer.
That was the main trailer, and then after that, there was like more footage.
That trailer.
All right.
Yeah, so I didn't need to see any more. But I love that they're still not showing anything. I thought she looked great. You know, I'm on my computer monitor, so I don't know. But I think she's makeup too. I've seen shots of her. I thought we saw some behind the scenes stuff where it's makeup.
Yeah, but when she's moving like a cheetah, it's just like any other character, like Spider-Man or anything. It's a fully rendered. I mean, I think it's going to be both. And I think you're probably going to be up close, and it probably is going to look amazing.
I mean, Adam, I think that's me being an old school guy. Like, as great as the Marvel stuff is, anytime Spider-Man's in that suit, I could tell it's CGI.
Well, that's the feeling. That's what I'm saying. That's the feeling.
I get what you're saying. And I've seen them do people in suits where they're on set and it looks just as good. Like, so I am like you. Like, I remember the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man stuff. They did a lot of him with the suit and swinging stuff where it wasn't CGI, and it looks so good. So I'm with you. I think if you can do it practical, you should do it practical because it can be done.
What are you contemplating up there? Did you not love this panel? Did you like the panel? What's going on in that head?
No, I'm just listening to what everyone's saying, and really, when I have my chin in my hand,
he literally is doing like the evil chin rub.
No, that means I'm enjoying what everyone else is saying, and I'm taking it all in like a sponge. But no, I love the panel, and I've said it many times. Wonder Woman's been my favorite movie thus far. I cried 3 times when I first saw it, and primarily because of the story. I mean, both of my grandfathers fought in World War II. One of my grandfathers was storming Normandy. So, you know, if you want to know what that's like, you remember the No Man's Land scene a little bit. Just fighting back then, you saw how truly dangerous it was. I mean, I can't even watch the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan because I know that's what my grandfather was doing. So the story Wonder Woman told, it is emotional. Wonder Woman 84, I'm already invested. Number one, it's because I like how Chris Pine talked about the reversal. Now it's kind of like Diana Prince is showing Chris Pine how to live because he has no idea what generation he's in. And I like how they threw a little humor into it. So yeah, the trailer for me was phenomenal. The story of the first Wonder Woman, I think it's going to be difficult to top. I'm just in for a fun time with this one. And
I love the fact that every outfit he was trying on, I think I had most of those.
Oh my God.
He looked there.
I like the parachute.
Man, Adam, if we get like a Chess King or something in that mall, golden. Chess King, chef's kiss.
Yes, I remember the Chess King shirts and everything. Yes,
Mike, you really owned parachute pants?
Oh, actually, I own parachute pants. I own Z Cavaricis with the 20 belt loops. And
Picture or it didn't happen. Where the photo proof? I need.
I have to go home. Well, Roxy, you might not know this, but back in the day, we had to print out pictures. We couldn't save them on anything. So I have to go back in photo albums in my parents' house. And I swear that baggy shirt that Chris Pine has, I had something very similar to it. I was of an era, I had two brothers, so my parents dressed us all in the same thing, but with different colors. So I got some great 80s fashion I'll be sending. We'll make an 80s day for Wonder Woman 84.
What about you, Rob? What did you think?
What's my thing?
Yeah, what did you think about the panel in the trailer?
I was obsessed with the Linda Carter part of it. I loved Chris Pine's answer to his question about just like why being there and what was so important to him. And I loved how they seemed really close knit with each other. It seems like this cast really does love each other and appreciate each other. The Venus Williams part was a little strange.
So she showed up later to talk with Patty Jenkins, actually, when we came on, and they did sneak like an advertisement for.
Oh, that's what that was about. Okay.
And just like we saw the State Farm thing appear, they're doing some clever.
I understand.
Yeah.
To me, I was just sitting there thinking, like, we get maybe 5 questions with the Wonder Woman team, and we're going to see who would win in a tennis match. I guess that's fun, but like, come on, I have so many other questions.
Yeah, who's got the better forehand? At least ask that.
I don't know enough about tennis to even know what that's the way that you hit it forward.
Yeah, backhand would be, that. Yeah, there you
go. Well, I clearly have the better forehand, but I thought in general it was really beautiful. I also liked hearing Patty Jenkins talk about her kids like going off and having fun and then her not being able to and just being envious of that because you can tell they just really like each other. So I thought this panel was beautiful. And also just of all of the ones that we've seen so far, the way this was set up, it just seemed so DC-like. Everybody in their own element, but it was really vast and bright colors and Wonder Woman-y. I really like the aesthetics of it too. So thank you for asking me, Adam.
Yeah, and also shout out to everyone. We have almost 500 people watching in the live chat right now.
What?
That might be a record for us.
Thanks, friends. You guys are freaking amazing.
We missed you guys. Thank you for sticking with us.
Speaking of that, shout out, there are some things coming into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer right now. And let's get to these. I don't know if we want to talk about this right now, but Brandon Buck said, so hyped for Gotham Knights. Been wanting Bat Family games for so long. Want the game now. For any of you guys at home who don't know, Johnny, Adam, Mike, myself, and our producer Ryan are in a group chat that was very, very vocal today. That group text was going off, and you guys were talking about this game. I'm assuming Adam, Mike, Johnny, you guys are all in on this. I obviously am not a gamer.
I'm not.
Yes. Are we jumping into the game now?
Yeah.
Just to answer the Streamlabs, I guess not even a question. He's just hyped. I'm assuming you guys are
okay.
hyped.
We can talk about it later. Then we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
I'm hyped about it.
I can tell by your face. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Glenn Caesar in here with a massive donation support. Thank you, Glenn. You're awesome. He says, hello, Roxy, Johnny, Adam, and Mike. Happy DC Fandom Day 1. Thanks for doing these 3 shows with us all. This is going to be a really cool way to spend my Saturday. Here's something to help kickstart the day's festivities. Love all y'all. Hashtag the DC Movie News team is awesome. That's really nice, Glenn. Thank you. We appreciate it. Anything else about Wonder Woman before we move to Flash stuff, guys?
I think with Wonder Woman, it's just interesting. I think these guys, I mean, at this point, their movie would have been out by now. And I remember Patty saying she wanted to release their old date last year. So this film is done, wrapped. It's sitting there. Like, they've got to be like, at this point, it's like, man, this sucks. But I will say this. I love the fact that they're not doing what Tenet's doing and trying to release it in certain markets. Tenet is going to, apparently Tenet's already leaked. Like, I think Tenet, them trying to force this release is awful and it's going to hurt the film. Wonder Woman, stick to it. Don't release it. when theaters come back, when AMC gets their head out of their butts and does something right about what they want to do, that's when they need to release it. Everyone wants it to be great. It's going to be great. Stick to it. Don't release it like Mulan. Don't do any of that crap. Nah, be a theater. Be like the first movie back in theaters when we can finally get back to normalcy.
Is it still supposed to come out in like October or something?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is it still supposed to happen in
October
October?
2nd.
But they didn't put a date on the trailer today.
No, this is
this.
definitely a 2021 film. It
And
just
I'll say
is.
this.
Let's be real.
I live next to Warner Brothers, and they've always had the big posters out front. Recently, they put a new one up. It says "Coming to Theaters," and it's stressed theaters. And it used to say the date, but now it still says "Coming to Theaters."
Well, Patty Jenkins said today. She said, "We're gonna wait.
Good.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait."
Good.
And I was like,
Roxy is
"All right."
100% right. No shot until 2021.
Even if they do that stuff where they release it like we're doing in Tenet in foreign countries, now they're talking because there's less people in a theater because of restrictions. It's easier to bootleg something. So it's like this will get out. This will get out and bootleg if they do that. And then it'll be all over Twitter, spoilers and crap. Don't do it. No.
We also just have to be honest about society and the way the world is right now. Unfortunately, when the pandemic happened a number of months ago, we had all hoped things would be better by now. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten better.
Unfortunately, we were wicked wrong.
Right. We were wicked wrong. And so
wicked wrong.
If you're going to release the movie in theaters right now, theaters couldn't safely fill a lot of seats. And so financially, it just doesn't make sense to release the movie anytime soon. I know it's unfortunate, but you have to do the right thing. We all want to get back to movie theaters, but at the same time, we all got to do our part to stop spreading the virus because these numbers are going crazy. And as someone who is a healthcare professional, I can tell you it's real and it's a problem. And so this movie should not be released until everything else is a lot calmer and more under control.
Speaking of things not being calm and under control, did Ezra Miller strangle a woman, take her to the ground, and then we saw him on stage not addressing it? Here he is. He's been in hiding, apparently, growing out that hair.
That is a weird gentleman. Jesus.
Roxy just did Ezra dirty like that.
I did not. I don't even mean to. However, what is this guy? I don't understand him.
He loves Nick Cage. He said it. He loves Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
It's not that I thought they were going to address this today. I just kind of thought they were going to address this today.
How, Roxy? They can't address it.
I know. I knew they wouldn't address it. However, I'm not ready to move forward.
I know.
I don't understand what's going on. And I tweeted this out, and a lot of people were like, they clearly have dealt with it internally. Yeah, and maybe they have. And maybe they have. But really, clearly what's happening is we are moving forward with Ezra Miller as our Flash, and we're never going to really get to hear more about what happened. And that's what's going on.
But Rox, have we addressed, I mean, the same thing as with the Amber Heard. Amber Heard. Why do I always call her Amber Heard? Always.
Her head technically is Amber.
Yeah. I don't know why I do that, but they've never addressed that.
Color of her energy.
They've never addressed that.
No, it's not.
No, they haven't addressed that either. Or Johnny Depp. I mean, who's also in
the back and forth seesaw of that crap. What's going on? Some people want to cancel her.
But that is a legal battle that we are all tuning. We can all see what's happening. This was footage that was leaked that they just are like, nah.
I don't know. I'm still of the mind that I think it was kind of a staged thing.
But then they would say that, Mikey.
They would come out and say that. They would not ignore it if it was a stage thing.
Adam, you'll get this reference. Maybe they're doing a long what's the long game of like an Andy Kaufman type thing.
Oh, Andy Kaufman or
what's his name? What was the character he did?
No way.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix with the rap thing.
No
maybe
way.
It's a long thing. Maybe a long game.
Life imitating art, imitating life situation. But whatever, we'll move on from it. We'll move forward from it. Yeah, go ahead.
Just one thing, if I could. Mikey, if it was that, they would have at least played reference to it as part of their long game story instead of completely avoiding it.
Hey, I don't know. I think he's a weirdo. He's a damn weirdo. Who knows?
It's strange. It's strange the way they're dealing with it, but okay. That aside, we got to speak with Andy Muschietti, with Christina Hodson, with Ezra Miller. We got to hear a little bit more about this. Are you guys more excited about the Flash movie after this panel than you were going into it. Yes, Adam?
Yes,
Sure.
big time. I love the idea, like seeing Muschietti, for the first time speak about it. There's always something like we've never seen the director talk about it. It's like this is the first time everything has been public. Everything has been like rumor. I mean, true about Flash, but this is the first time we were addressed like this is happening. And I think the biggest thing has to be, guys, don't worry. We're not going to make you have to suffer through that costume anymore. We're going to transition him into a more appropriate Flash-like costume. And I think that this also came out of the multiverse panel, which we were talking about before, which was great to hear them talk about how Ezra was on Flash and how they can do anything now, and they are doing everything now. And it really put the line in the sand where they're different from Marvel. They're like, and you hear Walter Hamada say, like, we're not going to put out the Elseworlds film every year. We're not on a schedule like he didn't say it, but like Marvel's on a 3-film-a-year schedule, right? He's like, no, when there's a great idea, there'll be a great idea. So all that into the Flash made me more excited for the Flash.
Whoever came in, I think it's probably Hamad and them that said, because remember they would said the TV people they always said film stuff is off limits. And the movie people said, hey, can you use Ezra? Can you put it in your show? Whoever said we're doing the multiverse. And it's weird. I think one of our last shows, people were correcting me on the Marvel called the multiverse, but no, it's Crisis, but DC calls it the multiverse too.
Multiverse for sure. No, it's the multiverse. What are you talking about?
But the fact that someone did that, then I don't think they're going to mention it because the Flash panel has passed. But the fact that this week Affleck is back, and I think in our last show in studio,
were you expecting them to mention that today or anything about Batman appearances? I was definitely looking forward to that. I thought
Keaton or Affleck was going to show up.
They ain't over yet, guys. They ain't over yet.
I know. But let me say this:
the panel's over.
But I'm going to say this:
Flash panel. No, they didn't mention Michael Keaton either by name. They didn't.
I'm going to say this
because
I can admit when I'm wrong. I think it was our last panel in studio. I had said to you guys, I was like, Affleck 100% done. I was
you and all of us, Mike.
Done. So I
can admit Christmas
happily admit being wrong, and it goes to show scoopers, insiders don't know anything. Anyone out there that says my sources tell me this, the only people that know are the filmmakers that are writing this script that day.
Well, it's not even about knowing, Mike. I think people change their minds because we're all human. But Johnny with his hand up. Yes, Johnny.
I think the fact that, we didn't hear anything about Ben Affleck. We just heard a couple of days ago that it was happening, but they didn't mention it in the panel today. Is it possible that the Flash panel was just too early?
Trying to get that joke in, raising his hand to do so.
Now this gives them Affleck an out. Like, of course, I would think he's going to die in this film. And this gives him a way to finally bow out.
Well, did you read the statement about it? Because I would agree, this wasn't addressed in the panel today, obviously, but if we're here doing a faux DC movie news show, then I might as well say that they were referring to Affleck's role as a cameo role. This was in Vanity Fair, which originally broke the story. And then they said that he has a substantial part in the emotional arc of the story. So that is where I believe you're correct. It might even be a cameo. It might be a quick scene, but going to make a massive impact in the emotional arc. Something major has to happen.
Maybe that's what he's going to go back and try to change.
Yeah,
because as it's set up, there was kind of like this mentor relationship happening there, and his dad's in prison, so. Yeah, I think whoever went there and said, "Hey, we got to go into this multiverse. Reeves is doing his Batman. We want it all to be together."
Roxy,
yeah.
How do you think that you're a huge Ezra Miller as Flash fan? How do you think the Snyder Cut? Not true. How do you think the Snyder Cut's reinterpretation of the Flash character, which is something we haven't really talked about, is going to affect people's anticipation to see more of Ezra in the role?
Highly concerned about that. Highly concerned. About that. The best Ezra Miller has ever been as the Flash is on the Flash TV show. That was the best he's ever been. So I want to remember that going into the Flash, not Justice League Snyder Cut.
You don't know. You haven't seen it yet. It could be
that is true. However, I don't like what he gave us in the movie, so I'm probably not going to like what he gives us in the movie.
But that's what the stuff you didn't like in the movie is all like the Joss Whedon stuff. Him falling on Wonder Woman, that awkwardness, and Snyder
Maybe.
keeps saying like, I don't know what this is.
We will see. I'm highly concerned that I'm going to go into the Flash movie not liking our Flash, which is going to be a big problem. Even hearing him talk today, and I know that this is the person, not the actor, him with his flashbacks situation. What was that?
Well, Roxy, you know he didn't write that.
I don't agree with you.
Idea.
I don't agree.
I think he's just a character.
I think he totally wrote that.
I think he is this generation's Nick Cage.
Maybe, but like, don't do what you're doing. If you're going to be quirky,
I didn't mind it so much. I didn't mind flashbacks.
I thought it was so weird. If you're quirky, I'm into you. I dig that. But then when that's coupled with like, I'm also strangling people in the street.
Okay.
It's just me. I'm Ezra. It's
if
like,
you
what?
saw him almost strangle someone, if you take that out of the equation, what's your impression of him? If you can separate that.
Honestly, if I took that out of the equation in this, I'm like, Ezra's so funny. So funny.
Okay.
Like, I can't separate them. I'm like,
No,
wait,
as
but
long
you're
as you couldn't.
like, are you weird or are you an asshole? Because those are two different things. And like, I can't tell. He's confusing. I always thought, like, after Perks of Being a Wallflower, I was like, this guy's awesome. And he's like,
well, remember when he showed up at Comic-Con like as Gandalf with a wizard and he had a staff and shit?
Well, he showed up today dressed as Edward Scissorhands. I mean, that's a pretty good move.
I've never been a fan of like his Flash. I'm like, it's not Flash to me, but it's
he's not Barry Allen. He's certainly not Barry Allen.
But he is Barry Allen.
No, but he's not Barry Allen.
But Rox, I say that, and to me, Grant Gustin isn't Barry Allen either.
No, Grant Gustin is Barry Allen.
To you, he is, but to me, growing up with the Silver Age.
Anything I say is to me, Mike. I'm me. Anything I say is to me. I'm me. After every sentence, do I have to say to me? Everything I say is to me.
Yeah.
From here on forward.
Yes.
Glenn Caesar reminding everybody to click that like button. Thank you, Glenn. We have 562 people watching this live right now, including our producer, Ryan Nelson, who is in here. We love you guys all, and thank you for joining us on this journey today. Any more thoughts about Flash before we move forward?
I didn't know Anthony Muschietti.
Muschietti.
We learned today it's Muschietti.
Italian. Is he Italian?
Yeah, I thought it was Muschietti, but he kept saying Muschietti.
Man,
definitely an Italian name. Yeah.
And it's Christina Dodson who sounded English, I believe. Was that English? She was from Hudson, but it sounded English. A very diverse group there. It's crazy.
I liked her anecdote about Pattinson. That was kind of fun. Did you guys hear that? Yeah, that was kind of cute that they had known each other.
But I'm not a horror fan guy, and It was phenomenal. So again, I'm on board. I just, All
right. If we're in, we're in. Let's talk Wonder Woman, and let's talk Suicide Squad, and then we can get to
the game first.
You want to talk about that first?
Yes.
All right, fine. Then we'll talk about that first. Tell me more.
Because we've been talking about this for Adam. You got to be with me, buddy. WB Games has been teasing this game for almost a year now, and every big comic or game event that has come up, they're like reveal coming, and then they drop out. And then there was supposed to be something back at E3, and that dropped out. But then I think when WB finally, and we still, Rocksteady's later today, but we're still like, I think when WB FanDome happened, they're like, hey, stop teasing stuff. We've got stuff for you. Because some of the team had like Court of Owls shirts that were on Instagram and it got taken down. So there was rumors for a very long time of this game with happening to finally have it revealed. Man, what a damn game. Like, Adam, you're a gamer like me. I was so disappointed back when I think it was last year, almost 2 years ago when Marvel did their Avengers game. And that rollout looked so awful.
Oh, yeah, the reveal from last year.
It looked like MCU bargain basement characters.
Right.
And I played the beta, and it's still kind of like,
I'm playing it too, and I'm with you. Like, there's the only fun parts are when you're playing that story mission, but they're nothing like the Arkham games that wrap up the mystery and the detective work.
And this is not a Marvel versus DC thing because the Spider-Man game is one of the best games of all time for me.
Amazing.
Spider-Man game is amazing. So
spectacular.
The Montreal games, and they get a lot of crap because they were always kind of like the side one to Rocksteady. Rocksteady did Arkham Asylum, City, and Night.
Right.
Montreal did Origins. Origins to me is the best story of all four games.
Doesn't Ryan, our producer, feel the same way?
I think so.
Ryan's a big one too. Yeah,
so I'm a big Montreal studio guy, and this game looks fun. The fact you get to choose the four characters, Gotham as a world, gosh, I'm so on board. I love it. I love it.
I love that Court of Owls is being addressed, and I think I said to you in our text message, I'm like, Batman's definitely going to be in this game. Don't worry, guys. And I think he will be a playable
when
character.
Is this coming out? When do you guys get to play?
Well, that's the thing. We were talking. They said 2021 was their last reveal. My thoughts, Adam, because you know this, we're getting a new PS5 and the new Xbox, I think, for Christmas season. So my thought was like, oh, they're going to reveal this. It's going to come out this winter. It's going to be the last game for the PS4, I'll bet. But now it's 21. I think this is a PS5.
It'll probably be for both, but you're right. I mean, it's going to be a big draw and a big attachment to attach a Batman game to a new system, even though it's not a Sony game. I think that's like a no-brainer. But
yeah, I think they're both going to be released on the PS5, but also PS4 versions, like scaled down.
It could be as late as the holiday season in 2021. I mean, it could be all the way at the end of 2021.
Whoa, you guys won't make it that far. Brandon Buckingham says, Bat Family for the win. I wish I could play, guys. I wish that this is something that
I saw in the chat, so many women were finally like, yes, finally, Batgirl. Finally.
I want to be in. Help me be in.
You just not into it? Have you tried and you just don't get sucked in?
Well, I don't have a system. So to get involved, when I grew up, I obviously had a big brother, so we had all of the systems. And I would play with him, and I fucking sucked. And you guys know I'm not good at sucking at things. When I suck at things, I'm like, no. Not sucking things, Mike.
You said sucking things, Roxy.
No, I didn't. I said I'm not good at sucking at things. Get over yourself, Mikey.
My gosh, Roxy.
Oh,
were you just complaining last night that you're alone?
For the love of God,
maybe that's why, Roxy.
Yes, okay. Let's go to some of these Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Toppy the Topic said, with all the separate versions of Batman, in which one will we first see the Bat family, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, etc.? Batman as an adoptive father is a major aspect from the comics we haven't seen on screen much. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think, Adam, you could probably back me up on this. I think this is where Marvel does things so well because it builds to something. Like the Bat family you need to build. You need 10 years to build to it. And Marvel is awesome because that end game, we got end game because it took X amount of years to get there and it worked and it was organic, Now with the multiverse, we might get it inorganically where it's just the Bat family appears because that's a world where the Bat family exists. I think Pattinson's has the most potential to build to a Bat family because he's a young Batman and we would get there. I mean, you're thinking Batgirl, 3 generations of Robins.
Yeah.
That's 20 years.
That seems like a tall order. And it strains credulity once everybody's a crime fighter. It kind of becomes very CW at that point, I think. For me, I don't know that Matt Reeves wants to tell that story, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Robin and making that work in a kind of cool real world way. And I know this is teasing out that we're about to see the first things about the Batman later on. I can't believe that is happening in the same day. If just everything up to now had been all that happened all week,
I know.
The best show of our lives. And we have 2 more blocks and segments. I'm freaking out.
Insane. It's insane. So much more to talk about. And I'm seeing questions from you guys and comments. Samir Tesfai says, so many awesome contents announced today. I'm loving it so far, as we are, Samir.
What a great picture, buddy. What a great picture.
Here's awesome. Star Gonzalez says, hi, all. I just wanted to show support. I hope you all have a rad Saturday with a smiley face. Thanks, Star. You're awesome. Lamont Smalls has a question going back to Wonder Woman. He says, the new Wonder Woman 84 trailer had a only in theaters tag at the end, but the new Suicide Squad trailer contained a 2021 date. Does this mean the world will come back to normal in 2021? Thoughts? So kind of expanding on what we were talking about before, what do you guys think legitimately is going to be the month that we see Wonder Woman? And is the rest of the DC slate going to ultimately get pushed?
Rox, I'll say this. Because you guys know I work for Universal Studios. We have gotten, the feeling is we will not be open up for the fall. And spring 2021 is looking more likely for us for the theme park. So that's a big venue. It's a big thing. Disney and Orlando is different. They're already open, but in Orlando and here in California, the theme parks, Disney and Universal are saying maybe November, possibly more 2021. So I think who knows, Rox? I've heard stories, not stories, where doctors have come on and said, hey, if we would lock down for 3 weeks, you don't even leave your house except for like emergencies, we could knock this down. And other countries have proven it. Other countries have done it.
Yep.
We're not set up that way, and we're clearly not going to do that. So there is no like ifs, buts. No. But Johnny, what do you think, release date wise?
To follow up what Mike said, I mean, I'm currently in Florida, and Florida doesn't care. I mean, people are running around willy-nilly. They have been the whole time, and there's a reason why Florida's a disaster. Not going to get on my Florida soapbox, but that's how it is. Anyways, realistically, we're already having issues with schools. We're having issues with getting live events happening again around the country. They're still not happening. So I would say, to be safe, probably spring.
Okay.
Because Adam, you concur? We have to get through the election, because unfortunately this has become, COVID has become politicized. So we have to get through the election to see what happens there.
So do you think that legitimate question, Johnny, do you think that Wonder Woman being released will not take place until after the election because of that?
Well, I think it's not going to be released until next year, because I don't think we're going to have people in theaters at numbers high enough to give a reason to release a massive motion picture like Wonder Woman. You have to get your money back, or you have to make money. I don't think we're going to be able to put people in theaters at that, at that kind of rate.
And if we have to mail in our movie tickets, then we just don't know what's going to happen. But okay, that was my last political comment. Adam, go ahead.
Listen, I don't know if the rest of the world keeps the pandemic at bay. Maybe there's a world in which that they are opening films to a smaller capacity, and it makes sense. Maybe this Tenet thing works out. Tenet is going to tell us a lot. If Tenet suffers huge on returns, opening worldwide except the United States, which is the biggest market, obviously by far, I don't know. I would tend to think probably not 2020 and then not January, but I can certainly see, and this would push other things, but around a Valentine's Day, if the world comes back, nothing would be sweeter than seeing WW 84. We've proved that February can open big movies again. So I think as soon as they possibly can, they move things to get Wonder Woman out.
I hear you completely. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Toppy the Topic, who originally asked about the Bat Family, said, just to clarify, I meant, will we be seeing the Bat Family in Pattinson's verse or DCAU? What's DCAU?
Animated.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of. Yeah. What'd you say?
I mean, it's in the animated universe all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the animated films do the Bat Family all the time. So.
Yeah. Okay. D-Train said, was the I concur line your team said at last night's match a reference to Catch Me If You Can? That is to Mike Kalinowski and unrelated to DC, but I'll let him answer it.
All right. No, it was not. How that came about, when my teammates and I in the faction, Chance and Marisol and Adam, we do nightly sessions like this, the four of us. And Chance and I were, because of this all being digital, we didn't have the ability to confer. You guys saw how we talk. We usually would whisper to each other because we didn't want the other teams knowing what we'd say. So we had to be very specific in who answers and what answer and who was the final answer. So we always said, okay, always say I concur. And it just was me joking with the guys. I was like, oh, yes. Because Chance, we were doing like animated and he was dominating. And
all right, that's enough of that.
I was like,
we're over it.
I concur. So I concur is our new catchphrase.
Well, Johnny, Adam, do we concur that we can move past this right now?
Yes, please.
Suicide Squad.
Right, I concur.
Before we talk about Suicide Squad, because we just talked about the gaming, let's talk a little bit about the multiverse, because I know that, Adam, you were really excited about this conversation. I liked seeing Hamada's face for the first time, and it was interesting to hear them talk about a bunch of different things. But Adam, what really struck you about this, and why was it one of your favorite moments?
They kind of just confirmed what we've suspected and hoped, but just to hear them say it was really nice. And just the fact that they are going to make the right films at the right time. This team is committed to making great films. Another team might have been committed to a slate, but they're saying like, hey, what we're going to do, guys, is they just proved that they could do it with Joker. Right there, and they just proved that like Harley Quinn maybe doesn't do so great, does great on VOD. Like playing fast and loose with the characters, with how they appear. They address the fact that we keep the characters out of the TV shows, but it made no sense because then it would be years before you see that character, and then maybe the movie wouldn't even get made. Like, what are we doing? Why can't we loosen this up a little bit? And it was just them being the new guard and feeling like they were really owning that position. Greg Berlanti's enormous success. Hamada coming in seems incredibly smart. And then putting Jim Lee as not quite the Kevin Feige, but at least the comic book brain that is also the creative officer. Seeing that triumvirate to me gave me more faith than I've had in all of our speculation and talking about it in all the years we've been doing the show.
Mike, you're giving a subtle nod. You feel similarly?
Yeah, I do. And I liken it back to, it took him some time, man. But think about it. It was 4 years since BVS to 2020. It's 4 years. And now feel you just feel the excitement. I see so many people now wanting to celebrate DC and wanting to come to these movies. It took some time. And we knew that. We always said it's bumpy road. It was never to liken it to its sister company. The first few MCU films, which I love Incredible Hulk. I love Iron Man 2. I love First Avenger. But a lot of people don't really feel those because they think they were finding their footing getting to Avengers, Winter Soldier, get that where they found their stride. DC, and whether you want to love, I still don't understand Birds of Prey, how it didn't do as well as it did. But
it didn't do better than it did.
Yeah, it did do better than it did. But
it didn't do as well.
Whoever came in, I think when Hamada came in, I think it was Hamada, Adam. You talked about who was. I think Hamada was like, look, that old guard, you're gone. You've got this property. It's going to work itself. Why are you guys doing this? You can't follow what the other company did. We've got this. We need to do this. And I think everyone else, I think the TV universe was like, thank you. Finally. Yes. Okay. And Matt Reeves is like, yeah, thank you. I don't want to deal with you, but we're all in the thing. So it took some time. They got there though. And I cannot wait for what comes next on every level.
Were any of you thinking at any point though, as they were talking about it, and they mentioned Jeff Johns, who's obviously huge involved in the TV stuff. He's big in all this stuff. And then this Ray Fisher stuff that's going on this week with this investigation. And Jeff Johns is one of those names named.
Yeah.
Which seems so unlikely if you've ever seen Jeff Johns because he comes off as just this sweet, cherubic man. But also probably something like
I don't know, because I've had he's not on any of these panels, I don't think, today, which is weird. I didn't have an interaction with him. I saw him interact with fans at an event that kind of soured me on him. It was when Batman Live was happening, the stage show, and I went to it. It was the opening night, and I saw him in the arena, and I saw some fans try and talk to him. I wasn't going to talk to him because I was like, oh, he looks busy, but I saw some fans try and come up, and the interaction I saw, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on previously or whatever, but it was just as like, oh, that's not the persona he gives off in person when he's on public.
The truth is, we can't speculate too much on this, but 2020 has shown us that we don't know anything as we're watching Ellen DeGeneres.
But
somebody
Roxy
presents himself is not always.
Yeah, I mean, Roxy, you see Ellen DeGeneres like America's sweetheart, but then you hear all these stories of people working with her.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So you just don't know. You don't know when somebody presents himself that way. We have a couple more fan questions, and then I do want to get to the Suicide Squad. Also, thank you to DC FanDome for sending me this thing to unbox. So we'll be doing that live before we get out of here for part one of the show. JP Sneaker Closet, I want to take this one, says, not a fan of Ezra's Flash, but curious on why people are choosing to cancel him with no context. Things need to be cleared up, of course, then we can judge. So JP, I saw you earlier saying that I was canceling Ezra. At no point have I said cancel Ezra Miller. At 0 point. I don't think anybody on this panel is canceling Ezra Miller. When you say things need to be cleared up, that's all. We just want to know what's up, or at least I do. But I'm not like demanding he's out of the movie or cancel him. Just want to know what happened. What happened here? So no, not participating in the cancel Ezra Miller campaign. Just want to know what's up. John, let's try it. Spiliotopoulos. When are you guys coming back to DC Movie News? I miss my Fridays with you guys. This is a huge treat seeing you guys together again. Thank you, John, for asking that question. And also thank you for missing us. We miss you guys as well. Yeah. AfterBuzz and Popcorn Talk are on a summer hiatus. So we'll keep you guys posted when we know when we'll be back. We miss doing it as well.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah. All right. Johnny, you've been itching to talk about the Suicide Squad. So
I want to get your opinion first. Is there anything you wanted to say about the multiverse? Because I have the way we could transition into Suicide Squad, but you are important. So I want to know if you have anything to say about the multiverse that Mike and Adam didn't already say.
Is he giving me shade?
No.
No, he said it in a
I
segue.
want to be able to
He's trying to set up a really smooth segue, I think, Roxy.
Chimpanzee,
Set it up, Johnny. Set it
Very,
up.
very subtle.
No, my point is, I know sometimes as the host, you don't get to get your views out as often, so I want to make sure.
Johnny, you're so sweet. No, I enjoyed them talking about this, and shout out to our friend Tiffany Smith. It's always awesome to see her up there. So that's pretty much that. Yeah, she did great. Johnny, go ahead, segue us.
Well, Adam was mentioning earlier about how it looks like they're committed to making great films and being loose with the characters. We'll look no further than what we saw with Suicide Squad. We have, I think I counted 13 members as opposed to maybe 10 in the first film. And James Gunn said a couple of days ago that it is 100% him. There's no one putting their hands in. There's not too many cooks in the kitchen, which WB is accused of in the past. So, yeah, I think we look at Suicide Squad. I mean, I'll be honest, like I said, some of these characters, I had to do a double and a triple take and then a Google. I'm like, this is amazing. We are getting characters that a lot of us, quite frankly, don't even really know. And then Idris Elba being, oh my God, Bloodsport. Are you kidding me? If they go with the story behind Bloodsport with, Vietnam and being a mercenary and kryptonite bullets, oh my God, come on.
I was hoping more we were going to get the Kumate. Adam got it.
I think before we even break down the characters, because there are obviously, we got a lot of information very quickly. I did want to address the fact that it was interesting how many times James Gunn talked about this being the most fun movie he's ever worked on of all the movies. This is the best cast of any of my movies, of every movie I've worked on. This is the one.
He's happy.
Yeah, but what was that shady to you guys at all?
No. Look at the way Gal talks about Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman. I think these people.
Gal also didn't shoot a very similar type of Motley Crue movie for another studio.
Let me say this. If he wasn't going back to do Guardians 3, I might say that. But since he's going back to the studio to see 3, no way.
I just thought it was so interesting. Why did he hammer that home 15 times?
What he did with Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy changed comic book movies. He took a D-list, F-list group of, made them household names on lunchboxes and theme park rides.
But he's about to do the same thing with Ratcatcher 2.
I know. Man. And Marvel welcomed him back. I don't think it's shade.
He really was screwing it in. Adam, what do you think?
I don't think so. I think maybe with Marvel, and we know, okay, let's say this. Maybe it looked like this. We talk about he had no one telling him what to do. Marvel has a plan, and they go, you've got to put in the Infinity Stones, and you've got to hit to this point, and you've got to get them so that they end up on Titan. I don't need to worry about anything. I'm here with my friends making a film. We're in the beach. I'm blowing shit up. This is awesome.
That's what I think it is, Roxy. I really do. I think it's just that he hit it out of the park with Guardians. It wasn't easy. It was probably a tremendous amount of pressure. A sequel to that, you can only imagine having to try to top yourself. Also, everything fitting into the plan. And basically, Warner Brothers was like, hey, you're just so great. Why don't you just take our property and do what you do? You did that magic. Just take any cat. And he's like, I will take the dregs.
Sean Gunn playing Vermin? Is that his name? He was like a human rat?
Weasel.
What the hell was that thing? He was I thought he was going to be
playing Rocket Raccoon, but he's a weasel now.
But I thought he was CGI. No, he was like a skinny rat guy with makeup. That was disgusting. It was awful.
Yeah, that was wild to see. Rob K says Idris Elba and Michael Rooker are both the best additions to the Suicide Squad. Do you guys agree? There's so many good ones. Johnny, do you have a favorite addition?
I mean, I had kind of surmised that John Cena would be Peacemaker. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with that. The fact that we saw in the behind-the-scenes video, all right, play Captain America as a douchebag. He's like, can do. I loved it. I mean, that's a perfect right there.
Did you guys notice, because there's two very distinct dichotomies between the two teams that we see. One have these bright, cheesy costumes that look almost like cosplay, and then you've got these real kind of hardcore looking badass costumes. And I think we've surmised that first group, they're pretty much dead. But it seemed like they were almost trying to make the public appearance of a Suicide Squad. These are our public personas where we're the good guys. And
they don't want to tip their hat to that, Mikey, of course, because that's fucked up. You're not following 12 characters. A bunch of them are still going to be fine.
Because Peacemaker looked cheesy as hell, but it was comics accurate. I mean, gosh, Rick Flag in the yellow T-shirt. It was perfect. That's his comic look. It was great.
Should we break down who's playing who and how? I mean, there were so many people. I know. I was trying to like figure out who is what. Were there any major surprises to you, Adam? Anybody that you were like, wait, they're what? How is that?
I didn't know if we ever heard that Mongol was going to be in the film. Is Mongol like an apocalypse character, Mikey? Like,
I thought she was part of Starfire's race, but I'm completely probably wrong. That's a character.
I know the character of Mongol from like Superman comics and everything. I know it's an extra planetary character. So I don't know that we had heard that character mentioned. It was cool to hear. Obviously, there was a stand-in for King Shark, and he's also playing somebody else. So obviously, we have a celebrity voice to be revealed, right?
Which is cool. Just a quick run because I found a list, so might as well. Idris Elba as Bloodsport. You guys can respond to any of these if you want. John Cena as Peacemaker. David Dalsmachian as Polka Dot Man, which we had guessed a long time ago. Daniela as Ratcatcher 2. I thought she was adorable.
Ratcatcher 2 was interesting. It's like, oh, Ratcatcher 2.
And they like kept saying 2, too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll see the first Ratcatcher.
Steve Agee as King Shark. Nathan Fillion as TDK.
That character, I've never heard of that character, TDK.
TDK.
Wait, so
all I kept thinking was The Dark Knight.
What's up?
All I kept thinking was The Dark Knight, TDK.
That's what they call it, yeah.
What was yours, Adam? What did you just say?
No, I was saying, so Steve Agee is King Shark?
Yes.
So he's just a voice then. So because they said that somebody was the physical stand-in for King Shark.
Oh, yeah, so he must be the voice then.
Okay. So I think that was going to be a reveal, but I guess not.
Oh, okay. Mei Ling as Mongol. Flula Borg as Javelin. I don't know anything about Javelin.
He's a funny
character.
Yeah.
Sean Gunn as Weasel. Michael Rooker as Savant.
And yes, that's the best addition.
Yeah, that's fun. Pete Davidson as Blackguard. Peter Capaldi as the Thinker.
Blackguard is a very minor character. I know he was a villain of Booster Gold. Yeah, really. To me, that almost sounds like, well, I don't know. Let's get Pete Davidson in the movie. Who can he play? That's what it seems like.
I love Pete Davidson.
Do you? That's good.
Isn't he dating Kate Beckinsale?
He goes back and forth with a lot.
They're broken up now.
What do you mean you go back and forth? If you are Pete Davidson, you've got Kate Beckinsale. You don't go back and forth with anything.
He dates like exclusively 40-year-old dime pieces. Like he has like 15
dime pieces.
Hot. They're 10 dime
pieces. Yeah.
Oh,
that was great, Roxy. Said it all.
I thought it made sense. The Thinker is a character that obviously we had as a major character on The Flash for like a whole season. So that was interesting to see.
That was exciting because I love that actor. And that is so great because that makes me think he's going to have a media role. Capaldi, yeah.
Alice Soul Saria. I know nothing about Soul Saria.
I didn't either. No, that was an interesting character. But I love the actress. I love that actress.
Storm Reed, we had pop in for a question. I adore Storm Reed, so that was fun to see. She's going to be playing Bloodsport's daughter, Idris Elba's daughter, in the movie. Juan Diego Boto as General Luna, and Joaquin Casillo as Major General Suarez. So those are the announcement of the cast. Overall, I would say they did a pretty good job of like banging through them, and then we played that game, which I thought was fun.
Adam, are you reading the current Suicide Squad comic book?
No, I'm not.
Dude. This new, I think it got canceled, but it's phenomenal, and it seems like they're taking a lot of hits because that movie starts with they're trying to take out a Latin American general as well to kind of overthrow a government. It had very, very similar shades of this film, and I was like, "Ooh!"
They said that guy Luna was a really nice guy.
Yeah, so this it seems like if I'm putting together from what I can, like the squad is sent to go and replace this general. Or take it out so the American government can install their own puppet general to control this nation. That's kind of a vibe I'm getting because there was 2 generals in that video, 2 actors playing 2 different military leaders. So it seems like maybe a puppet regime.
And then you think from that point, this simple mission for Task Force X goes awry when thing wipes out the entire team.
Like that video, I got to say, guys, of the 3 things we saw today, the Suicide Squad, that's what got me the most hype.
The video behind the scenes.
Oh, my God. Cool.
Let's get to a couple of these things, Mike. A couple questions in here. Sure. Samir Tesfai says, I'm guessing Weasel will be like Rocket Raccoon, but much, much crazier. Love the cast and characters. You guys think that's probably accurate?
I love the fact that Sean Gunn gets to be on. It's not a CGI character. Like,
what makes you think that? I thought
there's a shot. Go back. He's in like a prison case and he's clawing at the glass. But he was tall. He was like a skinny, like. Yeah,
I did not get that. I assumed he was going to be like Rocket Raccoon, which I thought was
a CGI shot, but it looked like a guy in makeup. It looked great. He looked like a weasel. It looked disgusting.
That's great.
It looked disgusting.
John Spiliotopoulos says, you said my name correctly. Yes, good job, but you can call me John from now on. LOL, Mike, my wife loves you. Can you give her a shout out? Her name is Brittany.
Brittany, I'm going to give you the biggest shout out. I don't know if you're a fan of DC Movie News or a Schmodown, but if you're a Schmodown fan, you get that. You get an I concur. Brittany, thank you so much for whatever you're a fan of me for. If it's acting or whatever, I hope you love it all. But thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you very much.
This is a super chat. This is just in here. But Adam, to talk about what you were speaking about earlier, Steve Agee is the suit, not the voice. I'm confused.
I'm confused too.
I don't know what that means. Christoph Davis says TDK equals the detachable kid because he can take his arms off, hence the logo. Makes sense.
Thank you for that. Yes, because I remember there was talk about
me too.
He was called One Arm Man or something. Yeah. Detachable limbs. Thank you for that clarification. That's
wait, who's playing TDK?
Fillion.
Oh, so he's the detachable kid.
Take off his arm
that he's like in his 50s and rolling around with a name, the kid, in his name.
Yeah. Thank you.
That is not going to last.
All right. Also,
my
going
pleasure,
into Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Toppy, the topic again says, on Suicide Squad, what obscure character would you like to see join Task Force X? I mean, there's plenty of them that they just dropped in there.
He's not as obscure because he's been in the squad before, but I want to see the character of Nemesis. He's kind of like a spy character. He's kind of like not Rick Flag, but he's like a spy. He's not as crazy as the other guys, but he's a lesser known DC character. But I think he'd fit really well in there. Nemesis.
What do you got?
So it looked like from that panel that they showed when James Gunn was talking about reading the original run and showing some of the Ostrander stuff, it looked like, was the character Manhunter in there? You know what I'm talking about? That
I think
ninja-ish character.
There was a couple versions of Manhunter. I think one of the versions was
like red and blue ninja-ish costume. Yep. I think with like a silver
metal face. The metal face.
Metal face. Yes.
That was Mark Shaw, the Mark Shaw version of Manhunter. Yeah.
I remember reading a miniseries of that, like when I first started reading comics, like in the late '80s, just randomly, and I loved him. And I would love to see Manhunter as a real character in the movie. In Suicide
Adam, could Sol Soria? Do you remember the character in this Ostrander's run? She was a muscular girl. She had like camouflage paint. She wore a bandana. And she had kind of military fatigues.
You think
that's her?
Sol Soria. We'll do more research about Sol Soria and talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll look that up, guys.
Going into here, and I'm going to leave this question for you guys while I grab the charger because we've burned through the battery on this computer. Sky the Boss 96 says, thoughts on Task Force X retrieving a weapon of chaos for South America. Rumored it's an alien. # the Suicide Squad.
Wow.
Thoughts?
I mean, I don't see why. Maybe this South American they're going there to get it. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like there's 2 military forces involved. We got 2 different squads involved. Like,
I just got to say, I'm so excited. I love the story of redemption because to me, did not like the Suicide Squad movie at all. I love the fact that we're getting some common characters that can be redeemed and re-envisioned.
Adam, could the Suicide Squad trying to put on a public face and pull a Thunderbolts? We're like, hey, these are good superheroes, but they're really criminals. But they're like, you're not criminals. You're superheroes. Go out there, be our public face. But they're really, these awful, disgusting people.
The boys.
Guys, I'm pausing us because T. Mitch says, talk, Johnny. And then Johnny responds and says, hard to get a word in. Johnny, the floor is yours. What do you got to say?
Well, I just wanted to say that, when it comes to everything we saw thus far today, Suicide Squad is what I was really most excited for, because that had kind of the most question marks. And for how panned the first movie was, yeah, it did great financially. We all know that. But a lot of people really didn't like it. I don't even know what the Rotten Tomatoes were. I don't even care. But the fact that Gunn came in and really brought in this brand new cast. I mean, yeah, we still have Margot Robbie. Obviously, we still have Viola Davis. But bringing in this whole entire new squad where we essentially, like I said, 12 or 13 characters. Anyone who has any negative thoughts about the first movie, I really don't think they should carry over to this one, because this almost looks like a reinventioning or a reimagining, to where after what we saw today, everyone should be pumped up, I think.
Do you think that they might talk about this the way they talk about Thor Ragnarok in the end, when comparing Thor Ragnarok to the previous Thors and this to the regular Suicide Squad to the Suicide Squad? Do you think this is going to be the thing that turns the franchise around? Possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam,
yeah.
How I think because you realize from the Arkham games how badass was Harley Quinn's outfit. That was right out of the Arkham games.
Oh yeah. Oh, in the movie where they see from
the black and red leather coat and jacket looked great.
Yeah, I also loved how he said he was most excited to write dialogue for her, James Gunn.
Yeah, that was cool. And then that she wrote dialogue for herself too. That was cool.
Gunn, his scripts. I mean, he was a writer before he was a director. He's just got that voice for great comic dialogue.
Going into this question, Stephanie Begg, kind of a comment too.
Stephanie.
I saw Taika's name on the hi Stephanie. I saw Taika's name on the cast screen. Maybe he'll voice King Shark. Yeah. Do we know who Taika's playing yet?
Oh, we don't.
Right, Steve. Yes. No. I guess we don't.
Johnny, you know.
Very important here. DC Comics just tweeted 3 minutes ago, now 4 minutes ago. Tune in for a surprise panel happening in just 5 minutes. We should probably close this thing out.
All right, let's get out of here.
Oh my God, but I'm supposed to do my unboxing. Well, I guess I'll
do it in the next one.
I'll do it in the next one. All right. Well, just building up the tease for that. Thank you guys for joining us here. I see more Streamlabs have come in too. We will get to those. T. Mitch says glad to hear from Johnny also. We always love hearing from Johnny. Okay, we will be back, guys.
This feels like a Comic-Con day, guys. My head's exploding. I love it.
I know, me too. We will be back here at 3:30 talking about whatever this secret panel is and talking about Snyder Cut and something else that I can't remember right now. What is it, guys? Whatever. Cool. Good talk. None of you guys know.
Black Adam, Snyder Cut.
Black Adam. Thank you, Johnny. In the meantime, Johnny, where can they find you if you're live tweeting this shit?
At Jay Quasto.
Adam.
Adam Gertler.
Mike.
Oh, guys, you might not have seen it. We got 500 people. I'm at Mike Kalinowski _ not at Mike Kalinowski. That's my old Twitter. It got frozen. At Mike Kalinowski _ Join me.
And I'm at Roxy Stryer. Much love to you guys. See you at 3:30. Good luck getting through this DC fandom, and we will be here to support you guys through the good, the bad, the ugly in just a little bit. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.